Hello, today I'm going to discuss the science of reading trend, which is currently rebooting literacy instruction across the country. The focus of today's presentation is to explore the shift toward evidence-based practice and how we can integrate the most current research into our foundational reading programs. Our key insights come from the article Rebooting a Foundational Reading Program with Recent Evidence from the Science of Reading by France and Zhang, published this year. What is the science of reading? Let's first define it. The science of reading isn't a program. It's a vast, interdisciplinary body of scientific evidence that tells us how the brain learns to read and why some students struggle. The movement is gaining momentum because reading scores remain low, and legislators in at least 41 states are now mandating that schools use evidence-based practices to improve literacy outcomes. It's an emerging consensus built on decades of research, compelling us to move away from instruction based on opinion or tradition. Now let's move to the foundational framework, the simple view. The science of reading is best understood through the simple view of reading, which is summarized by the formula reading comprehension equals decoding, or word recognition, multiplied by language comprehension. Decoding is the ability to accurately and automatically read the words on the page. This is our foundational skill, primarily phonics. Language comprehension is the ability to understand spoken language, which is built through strong vocabulary and background knowledge. The math is clear. If a student has a 0 in either decoding or language comprehension, their reading comprehension will also be a 0. Both components are essential for skilled reading. As we move on to slide 4, I'm going to discuss the 5 essential components that make up the science of reading. The science of reading is explicit about the content we must teach. This is often summarized as the Big 5 components, backed by the National Reading Panel. The foundation is phonological awareness, or the ability to hear and manipulate sounds, followed by phonics, which connects those sounds to letters. Once students can decode, we work on fluency, or reading smoothly and accurately, and on building their vocabulary and comprehension skills to understand what they read. Effective instruction means teaching all 5 of those components explicitly and systematically. As we dive into slide number 5, let's take a moment to understand why the authors chose the Road to Reading program. This program serves as a curriculum framework that France and Zhang selected to model their evidence-based enhancements. It's a great example of a program that already aligns well with the science of reading. Road to Reading uses a structured literacy approach, meaning it is explicit and systematic in how it teaches phonics, decoding, and encoding skills. This ensures that skills are taught step by step and gradually across different levels of instruction. The reason the program is so adaptable is because its core is a logical 5-step daily lesson plan. These 5 steps are already robust and evidence-based. The authors confirm that the program's existing infrastructure is sound. The reboots are therefore designed to be enhancements, not total rewrites. They aim to keep the integrity of the strong Road to Reading structure while updating the instructional delivery of each step with the newest science of reading research, such as a focus on mouth placement or sentence generation. While we move into slide number 6, it's important to think about differentiated instruction. While the science of reading provides a blueprint, France and Zhang caution against a rigid, one-size-fits-all approach. We must maintain the art of teaching within the science. We need to go beyond uniform programs and adapt our strategies for students with unique needs, especially multilingual learners and those with learning disabilities. This means professional development must focus on how to implement systematic phonics and use culturally responsive teaching strategies to ensure equitable outcomes for all students. As we move forward to slide number 7, I'm going to detail the 3 specific evidence-based instructional upgrades, or reboots. Now let's look at the practical reboots suggested by the research. The goal here is to enhance our programs without completely throwing them out. Reboot number 1, sound review. Instead of just saying the sound, make it explicit by demonstrating and highlighting mouth formation for challenging phonemes such as the R and L sound. This visual and kinesthetic cue greatly aids articulation and memory. Reboot number 2, decoding skill. When teaching a new pattern, we must integrate phonemic awareness practice. Have students physically tap or count the sounds in the word before they build it with letters. This strengthens the key sound to print link. Reboot number 3, high frequency words. We move away from rote memorization. For irregular words, point out the letters that are regular and draw attention to the specific sound spelling mismatches. This leverages the brain's natural ability to map sounds to print. For slide number 8, I will present the final 2 specific instructional upgrades connecting decoding to comprehension and writing. Reboot number 4, oral reading. To boost engagement and fluency, we should actively use student interests and identities when selecting texts. Crucially, we must use repeated reading to build automaticity and provide specific action prompts to guide students when they encounter unknown words, reinforcing decoding skills rather than encouraging guessing. Reboot number 5, dictation. We strengthen the crucial link between reading and writing. Instead of just copying, students should be given opportunities to generate their own sentences using the target words from the lesson. This connects their decoding skills to their encoding or spelling skills, making what they learn stick with them better. In summary, the science of reading provides a powerful, evidence-based foundation for effective literacy instruction, demanding explicit and systematic teaching of the core components. The work of Franz and Zhang confirms that while our core structures may be sound, we need to be ready to reboot and refine our daily practices based on the latest evidence. Our next steps must focus on ongoing professional learning to ensure our instruction is not only aligned with the evidence, but is also thoughtfully and responsively implemented to meet the diverse needs of every single student. For further reading, please note the key reference used for this presentation, Franz and Zhang's article, Rebooting a Foundational Reading Program with Recent Evidence from the Science of Reading. Thank you.